Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion plays Slay the Spire. No Ascension high double-digit wins yet since flipping back, but I think we've been doing relatively well. Oh, this is a tough choice. This is a very cursed choice. I love a thin deck. People, they say, hey, a thin deck's bad early. I agree. I'm not planning to remove 2 strikes from this deck and then add nothing. I think, though, if you cut a strike and a defend for 99 gold, it's a pretty good value. But what you want to do immediately, or as soon as possible, oh, this is a great path, is add a strictly better, well, I mean, even that is probably getting a little bit too, hoity-toity, but add like a strictly better strike and a strictly better block, if possible. Now, it's not always obviously gonna be possible. Definitely want you to be killable. I probably should have hit you, actually, now that I think about it, because you're 6 strength up and doing 12 damage. Oh my god. Save some for the rest of the class. Alright. I know I said we should add immediately. Quick Slash is fine, I think. Yo, reworked Ring of the Snake. It actually looks like a ring now. That's cool. I'm still gonna take it. I don't think we needed to. I'm gonna cut another strike. I don't think that means we need to add another one right away. But we could. I'm not going to add a curse. I'll just take the 5 HP because we would have only healed for like 13 anyway. I will transform another basic strike. This one became Piercing Wail. I'm very happy with that transformation. And why do I hate basic strikes, I guess, is maybe a question you find yourself asking yourself now. I prefer to get rid of basic strikes instead of basic defense because I think the basic defense are fine. You know, it's kind of like a beggars can't be choosers situation, I guess. We always are gonna, we're never gonna look at block and be like, man, I hate this block. Sometimes we're gonna draw, 5 attacks and only be able to play 3, but we're always gonna be happy when there's a block involved in the situation, except when the enemy's not attacking, but usually when that happens, we just count our lucky stars. Not really punching through this guy too fast. One day we're gonna get there. See buffing? No, he's doing 16 damage, my word. It's a knockdown, drag-out fight, the likes of which we've never experienced before. High-octane gameplay, and look at that. We're vindicated. Really do want to add more offense. Let's split the difference. I'll take a Cloak and Dagger, and I think that is a really, really good upgrade target. 8 damage, 6 block in a single card. That's reusable. I think we like it a lot. So the idea is, and it didn't work out there, my idea, I guess I should say, is at least with Quick Slash, we're drawing. And the more we draw, the faster we get to our money cards. And we don't have, like, a bounty of riches when it comes to that right now, but Cloak and Dagger upgraded is one of them. Well-Laid Plans is a really, really good get. Deflect could work here too, though. But I think Well-Laid Plans is just, it's so good. And also a prime upgrade target, potentially. You're a bit of a wild one. I think we do it like this. We want the louse to die next turn before things get too complicated. Okay. We can only keep 1, right? Yeah. Keep strike for now. I think this worked out rather nicely. Still only takes us 1 card to kill this guy. It's way too early to say that this deck is particularly good, but we do have some of the cards that I normally consider like a requisite for a strong deck. An upgraded Well-Laid Plans is a big one. Cloak and Dagger is just a good card, I think. It doesn't mean that we have to go into a Shiv archetype, but I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't dislike it necessarily. Deadly Poison... I'm gonna take nothing. I'm gonna take Calculated Gamble, and I'm gonna go for the early upgrade on it. Obviously, we'll take Regal Pillow. I'm gonna dodge the Elites. I think the upgrade on it is pretty valuable. This takes us down to 1 block being required, which is nice. Now 0. I feel dialed in right now. Not from a commentary standpoint, I'm basically silent. But from a gameplay standpoint, I'm like, dude, I'm doing pretty well right now. Making the right decisions. So I think at least. This one hurts. Because Blur is obviously very, very, very good. In Venom for progressive damage, it works very, very well with Shivs. And I'm going to take this. I'm not going to bury the lead. Blur is also an uncommon, which means it should show up more often. Basically, if we pass up in Venom, we might never see it again. I'm going to make Venom cheaper rather than go for the Calculated Gamble upgrade. You know... Because we have draw, we might be able to get around that. I'm going to lose 51 gold, because I'm thinking that 51 gold basically is a card upgrade. And out of all these, I don't think we need anything. Poison Stab, it kind of makes sense, but we could take a Dex or an Energy Potion. Apart from that, nah. Stay cool here. We should be fine. Calculated Gamble's another good choice, but Well-Laid Plans is definitely what we need to smooth out that curse now, I think. So we really want to play in Venom ASAP. There it is. I mean, the rest is easy. I really wish we could keep this, but... Get that poison. Oh, you could have played Neutralize, you fool. Just for poison. Might as well keep it rolling, though. And the extra poison from Envenom should be fantastic for us. Now, he's not going to roll over. So, you know, we're going to do the requisite thing where we take 1 hit and hope that it's not too bad. Yeah. And honestly, I think we should take this, you know, use it if you got it, right? So we're going to take 9 damage, all in the... We probably should have kept Slimed, I guess, just in case we could play it next turn. But all in the interest of making this guy's life harder in the future. Sure. Certainly, I would say there's no doubt that we want to add a lot more poison synergy into this deck. And by the way, we're going hard right now. He's going to split, and I'm a fool. We should have waited 1 more turn. Either way, we're in a pretty good spot, although he's splitting with a lot of HP left. That's unfortunate. But this is pretty much what we were waiting for, is a turn where we could use Piercing Wail and actually save a lot as a result. So we're going to obviously focus on getting rid of one particular enemy right now, and it's okay. We want to keep Caltrops, or we want to get Caltrops is what I mean to say. And we want to get Noxious Fumes for some guaranteed poison. At this point, it's a kind of, it's an archetype you've seen in the past without a doubt. But that doesn't change the fact that it's effective. 18 damage yet again. I mean, it still doesn't change much. Are you splitting? 35? You're definitely splitting. So I think we take 7 damage just to make sure you take another 6. And actually, it's another 7 because of the poison, but it's not as easy as I thought it would be. But we haven't really taken that much damage over the fight. We're just kind of insulating ourselves from the potentiality of like a truly awful turn. I think we're doing a good job of keeping our deck relatively steady too. Like, we're getting rid of slimes. On this level of Ascension, I'm absolutely just paranoid about those slimes. I hate being frail. We're definitely going to play those, though. We only had 6 poison damage here, so you definitely have to get hit. That'll finally take you out. You're doing 10. Am I okay taking 10 damage to get a little kick-started here? I think I am. Hopefully we won't be frail too much longer. Yeah, just weak. Weak is still bad. Kinda hate it. I still think we're gonna make this. It's just... It's way touchier than I would like. Especially considering how well things were going. This guy's dead next turn. There's no way we could have killed him this turn. What I am learning... actually, he's not dead. We need to hit him for 1. I really wish we had popped... our strength potion much earlier in the fight. 1 set of bad draw, and we're in, like, a nightmare zone. Even this is not good. It's, like, actually highly bad, but there should be a way out. We're just not, like... We're not getting out in front of him. We're just dying slowly. At least we're not debuffed. He's doing the damage again this turn. Mom, it's not allowed. 37, so thankfully my dude is going to split, but just barely. He's going to leave us with 2 enemies. If they attack on the same turn, things are going to be real tough. Might even be tough on turns where they don't attack on the same turn. And that's truly sobering. So if I hit you for 12, you're going to go down to 14. You don't split any further, though. I've basically left you at the highest amount of HP you could conceivably ever be at. I think we're going to lose. Moreover, I don't see a path where we win. I laugh because if I didn't, I would cry, but... Like, do you see what I mean? How are we going to kill these guys? We chose to take 1 damage. That's a third of our remaining HP. Now we're weak and they're both attacking on the same turn, and we will almost certainly be killed. We handled this fight very badly, you know? In the end, that's all I can really say about it. It hurts, but it is my own fault completely. I let them outscale me. If we pop the strength early, if we, you know, split the boss a little later, I think we're happy. It sucks because that run was actually, it was starting to go somewhere. I will lose 6 max HP for a rare card. Glass Knife is really almost necessary on the first floor, I think. Needs to be upgraded, without a doubt. But so unbelievably good at killing these enemies. Now I'm hoping that... I don't want to rebuild the run that we just had. Like, this isn't Titanic. Titanic 2.0. 3 strikes, please. Ooh, lucky me. Very lucky that he died, actually. Were it not for that, we'd be in trouble. We've had a very good... We have had a history of having a pretty good sneaky strike deck. I'm not going to take it yet. I'm not going to take Poison Stab either. We have a little bit of a luxury in the form of Glass Knife. And the luxury is we can afford to wait a little bit longer when it comes to, like, basically speccing into an archetype, I think. Because we have one attack that does an unbelievable amount of work relative to the default silent deck, which is a little bit, well, very weak, really. Heel Hook, I think it's okay, but actually, out of these, I quite like Deflect. Preferably, we'll get, like, an oddly smooth stone or a footwork or something. For sure, I think our most important thing is to upgrade Glass Knife, which becomes better immediately. And then the Transform, I'm going to use it on a basic strike. Became Bullet Time. Hard to know how to feel about that one just yet. What I do know is that's basically a perfect draw. If we get Glass Knife, the dude is dead. Easy enough. I still think we take nothing. My only caveat is that dash is now a really good target to hit with bullet time. But what if we don't? It's like taking Sneaky Strike and being like, well, if we get it with Survivor, it's really good. Yeah, true. It's an efficient upgrade. 14, right? Yeah. I'm gonna take it, but I want you to know I'm not convinced. Okay, I thought long and hard about whether or not I was gonna do this. The reason I went for it in the end is I was like, we do really well against 2 out of 3 bosses. If it's the 3 enemies, then Glass Knife is not gonna do what I want it to do. Otherwise, Glass Knife will probably be real nice because we only need to play it maybe 2 times to get to where we need to go. At this point, we're definitely gonna... Probably didn't need to overdo that. Well, worth it, I think. Was it worth it for Tiny Chest, though? Boss is okay. You know, I will take Piercing Wail. I think it's worth taking anyway, but... Oddly Smooth Stone, beautiful. I think it's worth taking anyway, but I just need that little push sometimes, you know? Right now, we're not going to draw into bullet time, so we should upgrade something else. And, you know, Deflect is now 8 block for 0 if we upgrade it. But I think you go Dash first, just to make it more playable. You get 3 damage and 3 block out of it. Blue Candle is okay. Probably not what we need right now. I think I'm going to remove a basic Defend. Another removal. Okay, pull a strike. Just staying steady here. This is what you want, really, is bullet time. Pardon me, bullet time. We'll ice you, and then you are at 24, you're at 23. I really have come around, by the way, to the idea of Oddly Smooth Stone. Previously, I didn't really like this, and I thought, you know, oh, 1 block every block, what does it matter? It mostly won't. Like, rarely do you get exact amounts of block, but you're always... I think we do go Choke as well, especially with a 0-cost card and also bullet time, but... You're always going to be happy to have extra block. Again, it's free. Compared to some of the relics that are like, oh, you know, once every 20 turns they affect you, maybe. So bullet time is still an okay upgrade, but it can wait. I think doing 2 extra damage per card on Choke gives it some wombo combo potential. You gotta love that. Dash is actually... I think its efficacy is going to fall off. He's going to entangle, but it doesn't matter. I think its efficacy is going to fall off, but for now, it's real good. Infinite Blades, we do not need. Envenom, I gotta be honest, I don't think we need it. I think it might even be, you could consider it perhaps a little too slow. The reason I think its efficacy is going to fall off is because 2 energy for 14 block and 13 damage is great when it hits an enemy for 13 and blocks all their damage, but that's not going to happen that often on the next floor. So probably here, I honestly think that Deflect is the next best choice. We're always going to play it when it comes up, so it's just extra block. It's a very good turn. Honestly, just hit him with another attack right after. You know, I think I'd rather throw a Quick Slash into the deck. This is the exact turn you want. Six damage. Nothing to worry about. So the only problem, as I see it right now, is our deck doesn't have any way of progressively dealing damage. And that actually is like a major issue for us. It means that we're getting weaker compared to the enemy as the enemy goes through more and more cycles. So we really need to do what we just did right there. Take advantage of choke when it shows up. Thankfully, it's showed up with bullet time every time so far. We really need to hit, and I mean, that's basically it. But we need at some point to add a way to deal progressive damage to this deck as well, because over time, you know, Glass Knife, we're not going to be able to rely on it as much when an enemy is 400 HP. Even now, it's getting kind of close to not... It's still worth playing, but not by like a whole heck of a lot. Starting real soon. So we're only taking 7 damage on his big turn. It means almost certainly we will make it through this fight. He does fill our deck with some dangerous garbage, but... Great name for an album. Dangerous Garbage. Unfortunately, the band name is already taken, but, you know, I can only give you half the puzzle. Personally, I like a die. But unload, it's useful. At least it's a good damage attack. But die, I think more specifically, and we are going to go Sozu, but specifically die, I think is probably what we need on the second floor. You know, we're going up against birds and etceteras, other undesirables. Great draw. Basically the best draw we could ask for. Don't even have to think. The more you think, the more likely you are to screw yourself up. Now, we actually have complicated our run a great deal. But that's a good thing. Thanks to well-laid plans, we're going to hold Glass Knife. What we're going to do is play Choke, Deflect, Dash. Yeah. Then we're going to store this. Now, what do we want to do? Well, first off, we want to punch through this yield armor here. Go ahead. You're going to hit me anyway. But 4 is not that bad. Well, sadly. There's no real reason to hit him. He's going to buff himself? I think I'd rather keep the defend. Because we're just waiting for the wombo combos of draw to come around, you know? Like choke, basically. And I gotta tell you, right off the bat, choke dash works for me. I think we need a blur. What I was gonna say, now that I got the layout up here, let's take a look. Well-laid plans now means we can save choke for a turn where we have bullet time, or we can save bullet time for a turn on which we have choke, and vice versa. Dash kind of fits the bill as well. But those are going to be 2 targets that get held a lot, unless we need to play them. Blur is just always good. We didn't take Golden Idol this time, so we have to make a tough choice. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And I will lose 6 HP there as well, so we're kind of burning the candle at both ends. But I still would love to not rest early. Sorry, 15 damage, 24. I really wanted to play Ritual Dagger, but we basically have to get it out there. Thank God for that blur, by the way. You probably don't need me to tell you that. I know it would do 5 damage to play it, but I don't know. It's doing no damage to hold it. No damage to us, I should say. Okay, the heal is... That's bad. And I'm not even just being, like, overly facetious or anything about it either. We have to play this. We're going to play our hand. It's really bad, actually, because Glass Knife falls off, restoring bullet time. Glass Knife falls off, so if this guy's constantly healing, you know, Glass Knife is going to get worse before this guy gets killed. But this turn is, like, really, really, really good. So we're really, basically beholden to using Ritual Dagger to kill this guy. So if we don't get it, we're just going to store it. 15 damage. Won't kill him. Easy. We store it. He's going to heal himself a little bit. It might take us 3 turns to set it up. Once it's set up, it's over, though. You can't outrace me here. It just doesn't make sense. There we go. Well, you're going to heal for 1 less than I hit for every turn? I don't think that's going to work out for you. So we made it to our campfire. I actually think we're okay. And this is a very important smith. Well-laid plans gets twice as good. It lets us set up a combo. We could hold bullet time and choke if we wanted to. I don't know why we want to. Maybe if we drew them both really late somehow. But, you know, the theory remains. Okay, we're getting just enough block, which is nice. And then cut you down to size. You're lucky. You're not lucky because you're going to... Oh, I can kill you anyway. Even better. No, thank you. So we got to get to this guy real quick. Well... 2 good cards to hold. We're really waiting for bullet time choke. Crazy damage. This is an amazing turn. Bullet time. Choke. Defend. I really still don't want to play Decay. And I know you're like, play more cards. I'm not going to. I feel like I still have to hold these just in case we draw exclusively Dazes. Luckily, that wasn't what happened. Next turn, we're going to draw a crap load of Dazes. It's going to be horrible. Next turn, we're going to draw all Dazes. Oops. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you hit me for 1, just to get out in front of you a little bit, and also hold this Piercing Wail. Because your next turn, you didn't attack, which is fine. We're going to shuffle and get another chance at actually doing some damage. This is a turn on which Piercing Wail is obviously substantially better. And we're not going to play bullet time. Very important. We're not taking damage. So you store bullet time. You're waiting for choke. You're waiting for dash. You get both of them on the same turn. Bob's your uncle. Lucky us. I think we played that real smart, honestly. Acrobatics, draw 4, discard 1. It starts to make you think. It's normally part of a discard deck, but the draw is so good. We have some 0-cost cards. And it would make bullet time that much better. So I do think you take it. Plus, you know, it's pre-upgraded. I think you cut another basic strike. Happy with deck quality right now. Enemies with weak are weaker. Hold on. We're going to be forced to fight an elite, but we're not going to rest yet. We're going to go for bullet time first, just in case we draw into it. Free strength. I'm going to rest here. I don't necessarily think it's necessary, but I'm glad we're doing it. This is an extremely potentially great acrobatics turn. What do you dump? I was hoping for a basic strike, but we'll dump a basic oh, we do have a basic strike, okay. Then we'll play bullet time. Unless we have anything else that draws, which I don't think we do. Die is obviously great. Glass Knife is 26 damage. 26 plus 22. Kill the middle enemy, which is bad because it keeps these guys at the fringes alive a little longer, and they're doing more damage. But 14, 23. We rolled a block, we might as well do it. Basically just the best draw you could ask for on turn 1. We're not going to be able to attack next turn unless we kill this guy, which is not really possible. It's just the right play, even though we don't really do much with it right away. Honestly, it's not a horrible turn on which to not be able to attack. 8 and 2, so we are going to take the slightest amount of damage. We get to hold choke, and we play choke on you, play 2 cards. Actually, we got to play choke on you. Well, we don't have to, I guess, but it is like it's a pretty easy KO. Not really. I actually think we play it like this. And I know this looks busted. We take 6 damage. I don't know, maybe I'm just setting up the clever turn, and that's always a potential mistake. But it cut him down pretty quick after the fact. Snecko's Skull is not what we're looking for, but that's okay. I do feel like a second acrobatics could work, but I don't want to add it unless we have nothing good to upgrade. And honestly, I think with our newfound relic, neutralize is worth an upgrade. But we might be resting regardless. Because we can get through this guy with Piercing Wail, we're going to acrobatics first. We're going to dump Ascender's Bane. Ritual Dagger is 25 damage by itself. So I think we'll choke. Yeah, we have well-laid plans. Okay, choke. Well-laid plans. Neutralize. Deflect. Ritual Dagger might as well get the kill next turn. Because we can store 2 cards, I'm not going to use Piercing Wail. I'm going to hold it till next turn. If we can get the kill with something else, I would rather do that. Glass Knife is 26, Ritual Dagger is 25. Alright, fair enough. There's no way to avoid this underkilling, unfortunately. So I guess we'll just go heal. And it's still very good, but don't get me wrong. Like, you might be looking at this and going, you know, oh, that's a turn to be sad about. Not really. I'm telling you, the smart money is on holding bullet time until you get choke. They have a synergistic effect. Now, this turn might change things. 14 plus 8. Oh, no, we can still do it. There you go. Easiest money ever made. Now, we have a real question. Well, we have a couple of real questions. I don't think we need Dagger Throw. It's a very elegant deck. It's a little thick right now, admittedly. Do we upgrade a card, like Neutralize, or do we rest? I think we upgrade. Not just because weakness is good thanks to Paper Crane, because the rest is an overheal. That may or may not be relevant depending on your personal viewpoint, I guess. Saving bullet time for the inevitable choke play. Hopefully that doesn't end up being too prescient. There's no real reason not to play Ritual Dagger early. Not that I see. So this time we'll play all that. That's 29 block for next turn. I'm assuming he's going to do a big attack. We're waiting on choke still. Perfect. Here's our turn. So acrobatics gets played. We dump the curse because it's useless. And then we play bullet time. Choke. Oh, this is going to feel great. You don't have to play all of it. But I'm glad we did, because he's not attacking us anyway. Acrobatics again. You know, we do spec into choke, but, you know, I kind of feel like we're still best off just holding choke and waiting for bullet time. And seeing if our newfound... Like, maybe this mirroring of this strategy could actually get it done for us. Could have done that in a different order that time, but that's okay. Are we going to get to 31 block? No. We're only taking 11 damage. Let's minimize that. It's our last potion, but I think it's a good time to use it, personally. Well, 15 damage. Lucky us. Again, we still lack, like, a certain offensive punch on this run. It really comes down to bullet time choke. And when we don't get it, things are a little spotty. We still got 18 damage out of Glass Knife, but it's not that much. So we're waiting on bullet time to match with choke. Choke has to be down here. At least he doesn't fill our deck with garbage, so we have a real consistent thing going on. Now, of course, anytime we can get, like, Blur to work with us as well, that's nice. Keep in mind the damage that we do is going to, I mean, next turn he's not doing anything except removing his debuffs anyway, which he doesn't have any. But now he's going to start to do his major attacks, which is pretty bad. It's alright. 29 block for next turn is nice. We're going to not lose any of our, actually 32 block, that's right. We didn't lose any of our debuffs. He's only doing 38. That's very merciful. I'm very appreciative of that. Please get rid of decay. We definitely do want to deflect. He's doing 38. We're not taking any damage. So what do? Well, you hit him for the limited amount that you're capable of. And just stay in the game here. Choke bullet time. Lovely. Play choke first. You never know if 5 damage is going to make the difference. $15 damage. Not bad. So Glass Knife might as well not exist in this deck anymore. Choke bullet time. We would like to be able to draw more cards. In fact, this might not have been a bad turn to just hold both choke and bullet time, but whatever, we're taking 7 damage. I'll tell you one thing. The next time Decay comes around, we're tossing it for 1 HP. I don't ever want to draw it again. Okay. We will get rid of a basic strike. It's not critical. 27. Take 5 damage. Draw bullet time. We're going to be real close. Real close. Almost put the choke on myself. I don't think you can do that, but still, it's cause for alarm. 6 damage, so it's basically a basic strike now. By doing that, at least we did also get 5 extra damage done to him. 22 damage. He's doing 38. I think you play your hand. There's nothing we can do to kill him. We're gonna live, though. We just need to strike. And maybe one more hit, sure. You know what? It's a classic combo. Choke bullet time. So we lived through the second floor. We obviously need more sustain. We don't necessarily play a lot of cards. So normally I would be like, oh, snap, keep after him. Alchemize is unplayable. We have Sozu. But I really genuinely think Malaise... I've come to respect strength loss so much. Thanks to fighting the 4th boss. Maybe too much. After Image is a maximum of like 8 free block per turn. There's situations where, I mean, Malaise, it depends on the boss you fight, but I think this is a bit more of a winner for us, to be honest. I don't know. what I'm excited about is the opportunity to hit the shop. I thought about it because I'm like, we could really use the extra HP to make a melee's work even better. Or extra energy to make a melee's work even better, but I couldn't justify it in the end. So we're going to take the cowardly path that allows us to dodge all elites. 20 damage. Not that bad. You know, I hate to do it, but I really don't want to lose any HP. The real badness is in making sure this guy doesn't explode. You do want to die. Realistically, we want to lower his strength. He's going to be the last one living. I'm not as worried. You know what? Let's dump a strike. I'm not as worried is what I was going to say. About the dazes is entirely a result of the fact that we have Ring of the Serpent now, which allows us to draw one more card every single turn, which is unbelievably great. Well, acrobatics, we're looking for an easy defend. So, to be honest, we're going to take that deflect. But it's all good now. Basically, hold on. It doesn't really matter, but I want to make sure that Ritual Dagger pops off. It's not going to be great on the bosses, or on the boss, but it's going to be good on the way. Now, this is a tough one for me personally, because I actually think that Piercing Wail is still good on the Timekeeper. And it's a storable card with well-laid plans. So, no, absolutely not. Previously in my life, I definitely would not have taken this, but for now, I think it's definitely the right call. So what are we going to do on the shop? Hopefully by, if not a game-changing, at least a game-helping relic. 5 turns of weakness is just oh so helpful here. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. I'm very happy that Ritual Dagger got good again. Okay, well, you made me feel like a real idiot here with the upgraded Piercing Wail, but so be it. Now, step 1, you remove the curse. Done. Step 2. We do play 3 skills in the same turn a lot. Is that advantageous? I kind of feel like not really. So we do 5 damage to all enemies. Okay. How's that going to help us? I guess in crowd control it'll help us. The only other great crowd control card we have is die. So you know what? I'll take it. And I'm going to take Good Instincts as well, which for 0 is going to give us 6 block. And is an okay upgrade target, I think. This is now the period in my arc, by the way, where I'm going to overrate the 0 cost blocks, which previously I thought were garbage, in case you were curious. So this is just a harder version of the earlier fight. We settled pretty nicely on that earlier fight. Hopefully this continues to be the case. That it's okay. You know what? Letter opener probably paid for itself immediately by allowing me to not lose any HP there. You gotta go. That's a problem. Never mind. There's your solution. Ritual Dagger grows stronger and stronger still. Because of Blur, Piercing Wail is a good play here, I think. Saves us the block, does 5 damage to each enemy. We get 8 block on the next turn. Pretty good. We're going to start here. I think we'll still dump a Daze. Okay. Then we have to do it like this. You gotta go. You die in 1 hit anyway. Nine damage. Sounds good to me. Alright, so he is also dead. Dude, this deck has got me thinking. maybe, just maybe, there actually exists a win chiseled out of this silent run. That's why I'm being very cautious to add things right now. I definitely think that Malaise, that could be worth a ton. I do want to upgrade our zero cost block as well. Okay. To be honest, kind of don't mind losing 3 max HP. But that's immature. We're probably much better off with these madnesses that could make cards free for the rest of combat. So we're definitely going to duplicate a card in the deck. I don't know, do we want to store 4 cards per turn? It seems a little much. If anything, I think we'd rather double up on Malaise. Choke is close for like sustained damage for sure. I see the value there. Especially if you can bullet time in 2 chokes on a single turn. Every card you play giving you 10 damage. Yeah, that's probably better. But Malaise, it had me thinking. And it still has me thinking to some extent. Why not? No well-laid plans yet. I'm gonna dump basic defend then. See what madness hits. Die, die, die. Sure. Sounds nice to me. We'll play deflect for 5 damage, and we'll just malaise you to keep ourselves ahead of the curve, because you're gonna debuff the Christ out of us here. So you're doing 1 damage, which is just extremely hilarious. And couldn't happen to a nicer enemy as far as I'm concerned. That's alright. We're rolling 9 block over. There's our second choke. So, I think we should madness. Yes, okay. The idea behind this was extremely simple. You know, don't even play bullet time. There's no point. The idea behind this was extremely simple. If we can make choke free, it's amazing, and I love it. That's the full scope of my reasoning, and I stand by it. Just waiting for another choke to show up. I don't care if it costs 0. It can cost 100 as far as I'm concerned. Acrobatics, we're going to dump basic defend, because he's not attacking. Do we have a basic defend? I guess we'll dump Piercing Wail, knowing we're likely going to draw it soon anyway. Choke. And then, oh baby. Keeping in mind, we also have Ritual Dagger coming around. It doesn't matter if we get the kill with Ritual Dagger on this turn. Basically, now we should have obviously done this in a different order, but basically we just stall until Ritual Dagger can get it. And we're going up against a Timekeeper. It would be really nice, and I don't know, it might be overkill. Hold on. 18 damage. Oh, we got him. It'd be real nice to get some vulnerability applied to the Timekeeper. I don't know, man. Is Noxious good enough to play? Let's see. Knowing that he purges all negatives, I actually think it's too late. But I would lose my mind over a Caltrops, and I'll take a backflip for sure. Like, I think a Caltrops would be incredible. We can't lose bullet time. 65 gold for Sundial. Sounds good to me. In my head, I'm like, okay, check it out. Here, listen to this one. Choke. Survivor, dumps dash. Defend. Oh, you can't play the madness. So you just play madness first and hope for the best. Hit dash. It's still great. Now I'm like, okay, wait, maybe we should hit you. It's not going to kill you anyway, so I think we're actually right to spread the damage around. You know what? We take no damage. Beautiful. Really want that innate well-laid plans, but oh well. We don't need 2 Piercing Wail. you go hard on this turn? The answer is no. We only need 10 block. We only need 6 block. Yeah, this is, I think I have to toot my own horn a little bit here. I hope you'll forgive me. We've played really well on today's run. Strike. Strike. Whether we win or lose, I have no idea. We need footwork. Whether we win or lose, I have no idea. But we've really given this run our all. We haven't lost much HP to disaster. If we're going to cut through one enemy, it's going to be this guy. We got the 24 block. We're going to take quite a lot here, but, I mean, what are you supposed to do? We put up 30 block and almost killed an enemy. So I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face, but okay. Dash is free. That's great news. Easy to take 11 damage off the field. 43. How dare you? So our rest is not going to put us in an amazing spot on Timekeeper, but it's going to be close. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. It's honestly just because, like, the run is wild right now. We should have put both on. Yeah, oh well. We're going to kill him regardless, but it was spottier than it needed to be. I don't think we needed any more of these deflects. Maybe. But I'm happy with this deck. It's already too fat. 28 cards. Has to be played. So we do a couple of things here. In particular, I mean, we know what we want Madness to hit out of these cards. We want it to hit Dash. So it's very simple. There you go. Now we have a free Dash every time we draw it. That's great news. Definitely did this in the wrong order. Keep in mind you have well-laid plans. It's probably just hold Survivor. What are our odds against the Timekeeper? I think it's okay if we complete our goal of getting an amazing Malaise. Speaking of which, I think this is the right turn for this. Keeps him pretty debuffed. This is what we were waiting for, really, was the bullet time, regardless. We'll dump a basic defend. This is so good. Bullet time, choke, choke. Glass knife. We need to put up 16 block. That's not very difficult. We even get to roll over 6 block. Tons of damage that turn. Now he's doing 3. He's been demoralized. I mean, we don't need to play any of these. I don't know. Maybe we just store Ritual Dagger. We might as well make it as good as possible. I mean, if we're going to store 2 cards, we might as well play as many of them as we can there. I guess that makes sense. Why wouldn't we want Ritual Dagger to be as strong as possible? We are going to need some way to get it out there in time. I still think you draw. I know you could choke first for a little extra damage. Even here, I'm like, dude, get the dash out there and then play acrobatics, and at least, you know, you get a little bit more fuel. Not that we needed it. I think Terror is probably worth it. Takes a lot for me to add a card there. And by the way, not a huge fan of having 38 HP. But we don't have too much setup. We want an early well-laid plans, which we were lucky enough to get. And an early footwork would be nice as well. What do we want to hit? I prefer if it didn't hit Madness. That's beautiful. Do we care about Piercing Wail? Let's say no. Just because we might be able to force it to hit maybe a choke later, which would be better value. So, Malaise, I think, is very good here. I think we might just want to hit you with a 5 energy malaise, which will take your strength down by 6, weaken you for 6 turns, and we can still play a good instincts. But it's gonna suck. We're gonna get hit for a lot. But you're gonna be weak forever. I think we need this and probably this, just because we only get to play 3 cards next turn. So we're just keeping it real tight, real steady. 3 cards, easy. Footwork, backflip. Probably a die just to get it out. And we'll store an acrobatics for sure. And maybe a piercing whale, just to see what kind of attacks he puts out. I still think we're in this, to be honest. Okay, so he's doing 9 damage. Well, acrobatics first. We did draw bullet time. We will get rid of a basic strike. Okay. So, we will bullet time. Neutralize is still big. Definitely terror him first, that's my bad. Definitely choke him before that. Okay, spotty. Blur is big here. It's the best our glass knife's ever gonna get. That was a huge turn. We only get 3 cards next turn, so Piercing Whale is a pretty important save here. But we're not taking damage. Even if we give him... How much strength do we give him? 2. So we don't really lose anything. We save bullet time choke, obviously. Although bullet time acrobatics is really good, too. We dash... Ooh, baby. When she moves, she move. I go crazy. You know what? I mean, I guess what we would do is acrobatics, and then hope to draw something that's worth holding. Which is not going to happen. So we'll end turn. We're going to store bullet time choke. We're very happy. Still good. We'd like to get maybe a backflip. That's fine. Oh, we didn't even flip him. We had to play one more card. So we're probably going to get hit for 1 here, is my guess. That was really dumb. Yeah, we're going to get hit for 1. But it's okay, we didn't really want to draw those. We want more draw in hand. Alright, he's doing 18 damage. Thank God for the vulnerability. I actually, perhaps might make you think I've lost it. We're waiting for a slightly better turn on bullet time choke. And this is it for now. Do you think we can kill him? Not this turn, but the turn after before he heals. Ritual Dagger is 73 damage by itself. So my thinking is extremely simple. It just goes choke, bullet time, choke, dash. We're obviously not going to kill this guy. And he's going to heal. So I think what you do is ensure that he's going to roll over next turn. You can take another turn off. This would be a great turn to play Blur and 2 other blocks. It's a good turn to play Blur and 1 other block. What we're gonna do is store choke and Ritual Dagger. I didn't want to use my best attack just to make his heal look that much cooler, is what it came down to. He's doing 27 damage, doesn't bother me. I know he's no longer vulnerable, but it really does not matter. You know, if we had hit him when he was vulnerable, he would have just healed up over it anyway, so. Great turn to play 4 cards. Let's call those a 1, and a 2, and a 3. And a 4. $48. That's a lot of damage. This would be a great turn to get weakness. It's also a great turn to have 2 piercing whales, but I think we start here. Dump a basic strike. Backflip. The neutralize is unbelievably good. So now you're doing 12 damage. I think we save our other piercing wail. That was not a strong play. We're waiting on that choke bullet time turn to guide this one to greatness. We got 6 cards. I think you... I gotta think. We could save bullet time and just play a bunch of stuff. Sounds good to me, but it's dicey. Alright, so we gambled correctly. No, we didn't. I just lost us the game by not playing enough cards. Send me. Send me to oblivion. I deserve it. At the final moment, a lapse in focus has devastated the run. If we'd played one more card, we probably would have been set. That one hurts a great deal. Still, it's going to be hard, but I'm not going to let it erase the fact that we had a good run up to that point. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. We're going to build on 99.9% of that run and see you next time. See ya!